Hello guys, it's Blackrat from 287 and welcome to the channel. So today the video gonna talk about the Sx18 top 10 mixed. So we're gonna finish this series with this video. It's gonna be the last, so if you guys missed the other troops, they are available in the channel. So let's start with the paid list of the mixed troops. And here we have in the top 10 Alexander, Darius, and Belisarius. Okay, Alexander, you're gonna see it everywhere actually because he's just so damn broken. So it's not even needed to explain why he's here. He's just broken. So I saw Darius coming back a little bit. I'm expecting, I don't know, but I am really expecting that Darius got a sneaky buff again, just because he's gonna have a skin soon. A skin gonna come soon for him, so I believe they boosted him a little, so the people are gonna buy the skin. That's what I think. But anyway, so we can see that Alexander, Darius, and Belisarius. So you know very well, Darius and Belisarius combine super well because the Darius have this skill that he's gonna heal himself when he's gonna eat targets who have poison, bleeding, or statues like this. So he works very well with Darius. And then we put Alexander with this combo. Why not? Obviously, it's really not the best legion for Alexander. So no one gonna use this actually. Top 9 we have Octavius, Warden, and Rainforest. So Warden, Rainforest, of course, really combine very well because Warden gonna boost the basic attacks. Warden is based on the basic attacks, like she's really gonna do a lot of damage. And then Octavius is just a tank, and that's it. He's just a good tank. Of course, with the skin, so he's here. But you can see upper actually that it's not the best tank for this combo. But if you don't have Hunk, of course, it's going to be an alternative. But obviously, people are going to have more easily Hunk than Octavius, who's a paid hero. So I guess it's more logical to play with Hunk, right? So not very important legion there. Top 8 we have Alexander again, Darius, and Hellfire. So it's just replacing Belisarius from Hellfire on the top 10. So it's very, very defensive legion right here because Hellfire is a kind of support tank, Darius is a tank, and Alexander is a kind of do everything. So, but it's still a really very, very defensive legion, but also not very interesting. We can see that Hellfire here is put with infantry. Just a detail. I guess infantry because of the tankiness. Because his skill is more oriented for tankiness, if I remember correctly. So Hellfire with infantry. You can see here in the small bubble on the screen. I can point it with my finger, but the small bubble on the top right of the Hellfire picture, you can see that there's a sword. So when there's a sword, it means it's with infantry. When you see, I don't know how to say, you can see it in Rainforest. The thing that the horses wear on their feet. I don't know if you can see feet for animals. I mean, the shoes for horses. You know what I mean. So this is for, of course, cavalry. And if you see a kind of target, it's going to be for archery. Anyway, top 7 we have King Archer, Theodora, and Warhammer. So King Archer, Warhammer. So you see a lot this. Actually not in this top 10, but before we had some legions with him. I guess it was King Archer, Bleeding Steed, and Warhammer. Very defensive legion, very strong. So now we have Theodora. So Theodora, it's a paid hero, but it seems she didn't did that great on the test. She is on this combo, but really not the best combo for King Archer obviously. So I don't think someone gonna play this Legion. Really no one gonna play this Legion. And also Theodore really not doing that great on tests. So not very important here. So now top 6. Now we're gonna enter for me on the really interesting Legions. So we have Rosenblade, Warden, and Rainforest. This Legion, we know it, of course. We played this a really long time ago. It's a really burst damage Legion. Really strong. It's gonna do hells of damage. And Rainforest, of course, with his skill, gonna kill the back row really fast. So if she can kill the damage hero on the other combo, of course, it's already won, because if your damage hero die in the first 2 or 3 rounds, you're just gonna lose the fight. So that's why. So Rainforest is actually pretty strong, but with her skin, and also particularly with Warden skin, because Warden skin is really very strong. So it's a burst damage Legion, very strong, basic attack with based on basic attacks. So top 5 we have Hellfire, Cleopatra, and Caesar. So not a big connection with those here. Hellfire, I don't know why, got suddenly very strong in the last seasons. We see him a lot in the top 10s. So he's doing really great. So he's here as a tank. Cleopatra is here as a support. She have evasion, so it's a kind of defensive hero, and confusion. And then we have Caesar, who is a paid hero based on the basic attacks. Very strong, very OP. Obviously not the best Legion to do with Caesar. So if you have Caesar, you're not going to play this. So we're not going to lose too much time with this. We have top 4, the Hunk, Warden, and Rainforest. So it's exactly the same principle that we had with Hunk, Warden, Sendiata. It's exactly the same. You just have Rainforest instead of Sendiata, but it's really exactly the same Legion. So the same principle. We have a big tank who is strong like Hunk, and Warden boosting the damage of Rainforest. So it's have better rank than the one with Rosen. So if you have, because actually the most important here is the skin who really makes the difference, gonna be Warden and Rainforest. But Warden the most important, because if you don't have those skins, this Legion not gonna be that strong actually, because I really tested it now, and it's really not strong if you don't have the skins. So if you have the skins, it's gonna be good, but if you don't have, at least Warden, I think at least Warden and Rainforest really are needed, especially Warden. So very strong Legion if you have the skins, not that strong if you don't have. But you can see that actually the Hunk, Warden, Sendiata got actually out of the top 10. It's really now the Rainforest who is dominating here. But Sendiata now is actually better in the full cavalry Legions. So top 3, we have Hellfire, Warden, and Caesar. So Warden, Caesar combine. As I said, Caesar is a basic attack hero based. He's OP, strong. So even with the skin, it's going to be even more strong. So just it's actually the same Legion as the top 2, as you can see, the Hunk, Warden, Caesar, because you just replace the Hellfire by the Hunk. So these Legions are exactly the same way they were working. You just have a tank, and you just have 2 tanks, support, and a damage dealer. So those Legions are really strong, but I believe that also you need Warden and Caesar skin to make this very strong. And the thing is that Warden and Caesar are really expensive skins, and also the heroes, Caesar at least, is paid. So only for big spenders actually, those Legions, but really pretty strong. And then we have, on the top 1, we have Alexander, Bleeding Steed, and Warhammer. So very strong. Alexander, very strong. Then Bleeding Steed and Warhammer are defensive. So this is going to be a super defensive Legion. really big defensive legion. But I never met it in the Eden. So I don't believe it's the best legion to play with Alexander. I really saw a lot Alexander with Hellfire and Healer. So I do believe that it's better than this legion actually. But well, you need Alexander. And it's hell expensive. So only for huge spenders, of course. And actually it's really hard to counter him for now. I saw a few legions that may be gonna counter Alexander. I hear about the Roland. It was Roland, Hellfire, and Avalanche. I saw also John Dark. It was John Dark, Hellfire, Avalanche, or Hellfire. I don't remember. I know there's a legion I hear that it can probably counter Alexander, Hellfire Healer. I think it was something like this. But I remember that Roland, Hellfire, and Avalanche is actually doing good against Alexander Hellfire Healer. I need to test this actually. So this is it for this list. We're gonna jump on the free-to-play list, with I guess the ones that interest the most people here. So let's go. And here we have the paid, no, not the paid, the free-to-play list. So without skins and paid heroes. So we're gonna start right now with the top 10 of the list, which is Rosen, Warden, and Sandiata. So this is a burst legion, but I'm not gonna lose time with this because I really don't like much this legion. It's not working that well, and it's gonna be way better to play it full cavalry with Farah instead of Warden. So I don't recommend you to play this unless you don't have Farah. It's gonna be good, but if you have Farah, really put Farah. So not the best legion. Top 9 we have Honk, Nicholas Flamel, and Frederick. So Nicholas Flamel, Burning Hero, Frederick, Burning Hero, so they pair together. If you saw the archery video, I explained how it works. And then we have Honk. Honk also have fire actually, so it's gonna pair. So, but really this legion is not meta at all, so I don't recommend you to play this. Then we have top 8, the same legion but with Dash, which is really surprising. Yes, it's really Dash. Dash Tingri. So Dash Tingri is a tank for infantry. So I don't know why he's here, but why not? It's kind of the same legion with Honk, but with Dash. It seems it's doing better, but it's really also not a meta. Really not a meta legion. For me, I think the ones that are really interesting here are after top 7, because the rest you can really erase it. So top 7 we have Loman, Bleeding Steed, Warhammer. So you know this legion very well. Defensive legion, one of the real best defensive legions on the game, especially for free-to-play players. It's really strong to counter Arslan. It's one of the biggest counter with Arslan. And also that, which is nice, is that you have Loman and Bleeding Steed that you can get as a free skins. So it's going to make this legion even stronger. So really good legion. And especially if you can get also the Warhammer skin, it's going to be really even better. I'm really wondering if I'm going to do videos about the paid skins, like the top 5 or top 10 paid skins. Because for some of you who want to spend for 1 or 2 skins, they want to know the best ones they should go. I'm probably going to do a video about this. We'll see. So really good legion. So top 6 we have Bleeding Steed, Warhammer, and Lilith. So we know this legion since Sx18, so it's not a new combo also. This legion was really strong when Lilith came, really very strong. After it became really weaker, and then after it became a little stronger again. So now it's actually good legion to play. It's actually interesting legion to play, but I don't think it's better than Loman, Bleeding Steed, Warhammer. Maybe it is against other combos, but the thing is that Loman, Bleeding Steed, Warhammer is going to be countering Arslan, and Bleeding Steed, Warhammer Lilith not. She's going to lose against Arslan. So that's why I prefer to use as a defensive legion the Loman, Bleeding, Warhammer. But Bleeding Steed Warhammer Lilith, it's probably not that good to use as defensive, but it's gonna be probably better if you want to use Warhammer Bleeding in the regular Legion. So if you also, but the thing is that you need a good tech on the 3 types because it's gonna use the 3 types of troops. So you need to try and see which one is the best to use with those guys. If you need to put Lilith or if you play with Lowman more defensively. But really a good Legion. So top 5 we have Rosenblade Warden Rainforest. So we saw this on the other top 10 on the paid list. So I already explained how it works. So it's actually top 5, which is good. I don't know, but the last season I tried those combos with Rainforest. I didn't got good results, but maybe they did some changes. That's why they are maybe top 5, because you can see that the top 4 is also Hunk, Warden, and Rainforest. But is it really interesting? Because the thing is that when you go upper, you can see that Hunk, Warden, Sendiata is better. But yeah, the thing is that Sendiata is better on full cavalry now, actually. So I'm not sure that it's really interesting. But probably if you are playing full cavalry with your Sendiata, you can play Hunk, Warden, and Rainforest. Why not? I actually need to try these combos with Rainforest because I don't have the skin, so obviously it's not going to be that strong. But if you have the skin, it's really OP. I need to try this. I really need to try this. So those 2 legions, I need to try them again to see what's the results I get. Yeah. Okay, top 3 we have Roland, Bleeding Steed Lilith. Curious, actually. So Bleeding Steed Lilith works well together for the confusion, as I explained. I don't know why Roland is here, but I think Lilith have a prep skill. So Roland is good for be paired with heroes with prep skills. So I believe that Lilith have one. So maybe that's why it's interesting to put it here, but really not the best legion for Roland. So I don't think this legion is really interesting, in my opinion. Top 2 we have Hunk, Warden, Sendiata. So also we know this legion. Everyone was playing this 2 seasons ago. Now everyone is playing Sendiata with full cavalry, as I said. So for me, it's really now better to play Sendiata with Rosen and Farah. It's really stronger than the Hunk, Warden, Sendiata, in my opinion. So that's it. We know this. The top 1 is Hunk, Iselfred, and Sakura. So this legion, I said it in the last season that this legion was going to be really good for us, the free-to-play. And here it is. You can see that she's top 1, so she's working very well. I played this legion also. It's really good. So for me, actually, it's the best way to use Hunk, actually. Because I don't put Sendiata with Hunk. And then you have the choice for Hunk to play it with Warden, Rainforest, or to play it with Iselfred and Sakura. I really prefer Iselfred and Sakura. I believe it's gonna be really better, and you can see that it's top 1. So if you guys don't have Sendiata with Hunk, it's gonna be interesting to play this legion with Iselfred and Sakura. It's a really burst, not really burst damage legion actually, because Iselfred and Sakura are made to do burst damage, but Hunk is here to tanking. So it's like a kind of mix. A mixed troop, interesting, with a support, damage, and tank. So what's the conclusion of this? My conclusion is that actually I'm gonna say for small spenders, the ones who use more this list, I believe that mixed legions are not the best for us right now. For me, when I watch this, the most interesting legions that I see, it's gonna be, of course, Roman Bleeding Warhammer for defensive. Bleeding Warhammer Lilith, also it's always interesting legion. And Hunk, Iselfred, Sakura. They are the ones for me that are really interesting here. Because the Sendiata, you're gonna use it with cavalry, actually. Everyone does, it's really better. And the rest is really not that great, I believe, so... I think now it's going to be really the season for cavalry for us, the small spenders. Really, it's going to be the best because Roland is doing really great with full cavalry, and also the Sendiata with Rose and Farah doing really also great job. So it's not the best season for us to play mixed. So for me, the only really very good legion that you can get, it's going to be Hank, Esofred, Sakura. And if you guys can get Sakura skin, it's going to be even better. Sakura skin is really, really great. It's going to be really make the legion very stronger. And then, well, for paid heroes, I'm not going to talk more about it. So I think we can finish the video here. I hope to see you soon for the next season videos and also other subjects, of course, because we're not going to wait for the next season to start to do videos. I'm going to find other subjects to do. So I see you soon for the next, and peace out.